on, folks? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Can you all hear me? Yeah, should be on. All right. Well, it's another week. It's been a week. It has been a week of weeks. It has been, man, fuck this week. It's just been a fucking week, guys. Holy shit. Welcome to another episode of Friday Phil. I am your host, Phil, also known by Unfiltered. So you can also see Bat Phil because this weekend is Batman Day. That's right. Tomorrow is Batman Day. 85 years of the Caped Crusader. 85 years of the Dark Knight. Anyone else happy about that? I'm happy about that. I love Batman. Who we got in the chat? Let's see who the fuck's here. Who's going to hang out with me today? Let's see. We got Mike's review analysis. What's up, little man? How you doing, Mike? Draven in the chat saying, Jake's been waiting in here for hours. No, he's not. I've been DMing him back and forth on Discord. That's untrue. Steak horse. I don't know what the fuck that means, Draven. You're going to have to elaborate on that one. Andrew Haley. Hey, Phil. How you doing, Andrew? Good to see you. We got Braden in the chat. How's it going, Braden? Hope you're doing well. I think the Penguin will die in the Batman Part 2 or Part 3. Well, we will get into that, won't we? I've got a lot of shit to break down and talk about. Definitely. Batman fans are eating. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You're goddamn right, Batman fans are eating. And that's honestly why I decided to add this to our show notes. That's right. Batman Day. Tomorrow, September 21st, is Batman Day. 85 years of the Dark Knight. Who's going to see Batman Forever? Who's going to see Batman 89? Who's going to see Batman Mask of the Phantasm? Let me know, because I have other plans. I don't know if I'll be watching a Batman movie tomorrow, but maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I would like to. I'm doubting I'm going to be able to see any of those movies on the big screen tomorrow, even though I would really like to. But again, I have other plans. I'll just put it that way. I have other plans. Maybe I will end up watching a Batman movie in the meantime. We shall see. But yeah, he's also getting a Walk of Fame star. He's getting a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame alongside countless other celebrities like Harrison Ford, Ewan McGregor, who just got one. But this is the first time a fictional character gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. How fucking dope is that, right? Like that is super fucking cool, right? Like Batman is getting a Walk of Fame Hollywood star. That's fucking dope titties. That's what that is. That is super awesome. Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. He's my favorite fictional character ever created on the DC side of things. If you know me, you know I'm a Marvel fan too, and I like Spider-Man. But Batman is number one. He's the number one head honcho. He takes supreme. He is the guy. He is the number one guy. That's for damn sure. But yes, I'm not entirely sure how I will be spending my Batman Day. I'm sure I'll be watching a Batman movie, if not multiple Batman movies, if not multiple Batman TV shows. I'm not 100% sure on how exactly he's going to shake out, but I'm sure I will have a pleasant Batman Day nonetheless. I've been spending half my day cleaning, half my day writing, half my day watching a bunch of other shit. But yes, Batman Day is upon us, and it'll be a glorious 85-year celebration of the Dark Knight detective of the DC universe, as I love to say on my Eternal Night podcast, which we will have a new episode of that very, very soon. For anyone wondering, anyone who does listen to that show, I greatly appreciate it. I know we've been slacking on episodes lately, but there will be a new one here in the next coming days. Don't you people worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Now, let's see. I did mention, let's just keep in the conversation of Batman and move shit right along. We'll talk about a dollar bin Batman in the form of Mr. Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow of the Arrowverse, the dollar bin Batman of that universe, if you will. Because he had, let's face it, Stephen Amell's Green Arrow had a couple Batman villains he fought. He even had some storylines they yanked from too. They just couldn't use Batman for whatever reason in the CW. Even though they kind of did, but they kind of didn't, but they kind of did, but they kind of didn't. But Mr. Stephen Amell had some interesting words to say in regards to Peacemaker and the DC Extended Universe. That's right. I pulled up an article here regarding that, but let me just go ahead and pull this shit up. So this is kind of a breakdown of what transpired exactly and like what was said from an interview that he had with Chris Van Vliet. I don't know how you fucking pronounce that, but let's just go ahead and present the screen and read this comicbook.com article. Let's see, here we go. Stephen Amell didn't fucking appreciate Peacemaker jab. This is written by Russ Burlingame. Oh, I follow him on Threads. Cool. Good to know. Arrow star Stephen Amell took aim at new DC Studios co-chief James Gunn in a new podcast interview, saying he felt Arrow was routinely disrespected by people behind DC movies and Gunn's series Peacemaker. Amell, who played Oliver Queen / Green Arrow from 2012 until 2023 in Arrow and various spinoffs, has apparently seen Peacemaker now and isn't too pleased about a joke made at Green Arrow's expense. In the episode of the series, Peacemaker says to Vigilante that Green Arrow goes to brony conventions dressed as the back half of Twilight Sparkle, with a hole drilled into the back of the costume. Peacemaker made a number of off-color jokes about characters, including Wonder Woman, Aquaman, who had brief cameos in the season finale, after initially saying he had not yet seen the episode. Amell now says that he has and wasn't a fan. Quote, "That was a little unnecessary," Amell told Chris Van Vliet on YouTube. "I didn't fucking appreciate that." He says, "Okay, I'm just going to come right and say this. There was such, between the movies and Peacemaker, a little bit, our show was kind of treated like shit. I get it. We're the CW. I get it. It's TV. But I also get the fact that when people think about the most recent iteration of DC, they don't think about the Snyder Cut. They think about the Arrowverse. We got crapped on for years and years and years, and it just seemed excessive. I'm not actually mad, but I just remember hearing and just being like, fuck those guys. Like, seriously, I'm up here. I'm just as hard as working as anyone else. Do you know how hard it is to play a superhero with no superhero powers for 23 episodes a year? It's really, really hard. I'm not looking for a prize, but like, maybe don't shit on our show." While Amell's initial response was to take a shot at John Cena for laughs, he admitted that he isn't actually upset with the actor as Cena, instead of playing it that he should be angry at anyone. It's Gunn who wrote the line. "I've met John a handful of times, and there couldn't be a nicer, more genuine person," Amell said. "If I should be mad at anyone, it should be James Gunn for writing that in the first place. But John Cena could not be a nicer guy. It's not a personal vendetta against Cena." Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. Kind of sounds like Homeboy is big mad he did not get asked to be in any movie project or any James Gunn project for that matter. I saw all of Peacemaker season 1. Was I a fan of it? No, not really. It's not really my bag. I don't like jingoistic nonsense. I don't like the dick and fart bubble bullshit humor that Peacemaker displays. But the thing is, that's the point. The character's an idiot. He's supposed to be fucking stupid. And that's just it, right? Like, he is just an incompetent, dumb fuck with a toilet bowl fucking mask on. Right? And he's just not a fucking smart character. And he makes fun of, if not outright, tries to clown on other heroes in the DC universe. He made fun of Green Arrow. He made fun of Batman. He made fun of Aquaman. I mean, how many times did he call him fish fucker in the first season of Peacemaker? I don't know. It was like 4 or 5 times, something like that. And I have no fucking clue why Stephen Amell is so mad about this, because this isn't even the same Green Arrow. We never even got a Green Arrow in the DC Extended Universe. So I don't know what he's so fucking mad about, because this isn't even pertaining to his version of the character. And on top of his little, like, spiel about when people think of the DC universe, they're not thinking of the Snyder Cut. You see that? You see that? See that? See that fucking poster? You probably couldn't see it because my camera fucking can't go that far up. But that's that poster behind the Joker one, next to the Joker one, that is a signed picture, a signed poster by Zack Snyder himself from the Full Circle trilogy, in which I saw Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. When people, and I mean people generally speaking, when people think of DC, I mean, sure, you could make the argument that the CW had its fans, but like on a general consensus, fuck no. People were talking about the DC movies. What? That just felt really unnecessary. Look, I get it. You have a bone to pick with James Gunn, and that's fine, dude. Like, I can even understand that. I'm not even his biggest fan. I'm not even his biggest supporter. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here being like, boo, James Gunn, curse you for rebooting Superman, you fucking asshole. No, I'm not even going to get mad at him for a joke he made about a character that, you know, yeah, you played it. But the thing is, it's like, how do you even know that's your version of the character he's referring to? Guess what? It's not, because it's taking place in the DC Extended Universe. And guess what? The DC Extended Universe never even got a fucking Green Arrow. Why? Because fans couldn't even wrap their minds around this universe to fucking expand enough to give it a fucking chance. And that's why we're in a reboot phase now. Okay, rant over. Anyway, seriously, like this is just so fucking childish to me. Like, Why would you get so mad about something that doesn't even pertain to you? This is so ridiculous. This is like Mark Guggenheim being like, yeah, I worked on the Arrowverse for like a decade and James Gunn didn't bother giving me a call. Why would he? You had your time. You did your thing. You made the Arrowverse. You brought about Legends of Tomorrow. You brought about Arrow. Why would anyone ask you to come back and do more? Why? You had your time. You did some great things. Take the W. Don't fucking sit here and be like, no, I want more. Fuck you. Fuck that shit. You had your fucking time. You did your thing. It was good in some respects. It wasn't good in others. Because let's not forget, you're the guy who fucking killed Katie Cassidy's Black Canary, and everyone fucking hated that. Bottom line is, this completely reeks of when I'm mad for no reason at all, and I'm gonna blame James Gunn. Kick fucking rocks, Stephen ML. Go do your heels thing or suits or whatever the fuck it is you're doing now. It's just super petty to me. It just feels really unnecessary and just very like, boo fucking who, man? Like, grow the fuck up and get the fuck over it. You were Arrow. Be proud of that. Don't sit there and be mad about something that wasn't even catered or aimed at you. I really don't understand what your fucking issue is. But hey, you know, he felt compelled to come out and be all, boo-hoo, they made fun of me, even though it wasn't really about you, but whatever. Let's see what everyone has in the chat to say. Did I just get a follower? I feel like someone might have just followed on Twitch. I don't know. I heard the thing. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Oh, it doesn't say here. Anyway. What does everyone in the chat have to say? Won't be able to see them. They're not playing at a theater near me. Yeah, you know, I don't think they're playing at a theater near me either. I think the only one that was playing was Batman 89. Droga, how you doing? Draven, I love you too, but you're not my child. Batman and Spider-Man are my favorite comic book characters. Me too, Braden. I always knew I liked you. Why can't he take a joke? It's not like it was a personal attack on him. Right, exactly. Like, I don't understand why you're so mad at James Gunn when he probably wasn't even thinking of you to begin with. It just doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. It just feels super, super petty to me. I just said it out loud on the joke, but here, let me go ahead and reiterate it again. So the joke itself was, let's see. Peacemaker says to Vigilante that Green Arrow goes to brony conventions dressed as the back half of a Twilight sparkle with a hole drilled into the back of the costume. So, again, like, that doesn't at all describe your Green Arrow, so I don't understand why you're taking it so fucking personally. It just kind of baffles me right now. I really don't understand what the fuck Stephen Amell's so mad about. And it's so funny right now. It's just super funny to me and super petty at the same time. It's just like, dude, grow a pair and get the fuck over it. And it's just like, bro, you can keep crying or you can just fucking like be proud of the fact that you were Green Arrow. But I don't know. It's just, hold on, I'm sending a message. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, what's everyone else got to say? Braden, it's not like James Gunn made a joke about Stephen Amell. He made a joke about the Green Arrow. Exactly. That's exactly it. He made a joke about a Green Arrow. He never specified which version of Green Arrow it was. And again, it's also important to note, this is not the Arrow in the Arrowverse. It's in the DCEU. Obviously, Peacemaker has seen or heard of a version of Green Arrow. So it's clearly got to be someone who's not Stephen Amell. Peacemaker is not the character to respect heroes. He made fun of Superman, Green Arrow, Batman, and Aquaman. That Peacemaker character, he makes fun of heroes. Exactly. He's a dipshit. He's written to be a dipshit. I mean, I'm not trying to like minimalize everything James Gunn does, but more often than not, he takes lesser known heroes and turns them into complete idiots. Because that's, I guess, what makes them funny. That I don't know. He did it to Star-Lord. He did it to Peacemaker. He did it to Vigilante. And he did it to Adam Warlock. So it's just a thing. You take a lesser-known character and you give them some dipshit toilet humor to play off of, and suddenly everyone thinks they're the best shit on the planet. It's kind of strange, but hey, you know, whatever people like, they like. Act like a fucking grown-up, Stephen Amell. It's not like that stupid controversy about Matt Reeves changing Penguin's last name. People need to learn to grow up. I will get to that. We'll absolutely get to that. So does that mean Green Arrow exists in the DCEU? I mean, I would assume so. Doesn't really matter now since the DCEU is dead, right? Enjoyed his portrayal of Green Arrow, not so much as Casey Jones, but he's making it hard to like him. He is making it extremely hard to like him. Between this, his bullshit with the SAG-AFTRA strike last year, and just, you know, I mean, realistically, between this and that stuff, I'm just like, you know, Stephen Amell's kind of a tool. I mean, I love Grant Gustin's The Flash. You don't see him out there spouting all this bunch of dumb bullshit. Imagine if Jason Momoa or Henry Cavill acted like this. Exactly. But even then, apparently someone's trying to, you know, get out there and say Jason Momoa was kind of an asshole on the set of Minecraft. Don't know how true that is. But if it was true, that's pretty disappointing because I like Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is fucking cool. Anyway, speaking of taking shots, Mark Waid took a shot at Zack Snyder while praising James Gunn. Now, I've got this shit pulled up here because I need to read this verbatim. I haven't seen the whole YouTube interview. Frankly, I don't want to. But let's just go ahead and let's see. Is this even? Can I just window? Do I have a window up? I can share it here, right? There we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. I took a screenshot of this because I saw this in my feed because I don't have Twitter, but I did see that this originated on Twitter. Mark Waid talks about James Gunn's Superman. Quote, I have a good feeling about this movie. I mean, I like James Gunn. I like his reverential approach by and large to this kind of stuff. And, you know, reverential without taking it too seriously. I mean, the movie has a dog in it, a superpowered dog with heat vision. So, you know, it's not any Zack Snyder. Mark Waid, you had something really good going there until that very last sentence. That very last sentence is the thing that just... You did that. You just had to throw the shade, didn't you? You just had to fucking throw in Zack Snyder's name, compare him to James Gunn in terms of making a fucking Superman movie. Dude.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
For real, bro. Like, why? Here's the thing I don't understand about, and not only this doesn't just apply to Mark Waid, but this applies to any other fan or any other, like, you know, movie buff or anyone who's just a fan in general of one person's creativity, but has to punch down on another's creativity. This is bullshit. This is absolute fucking nonsense. As creators, we should be lifting people up, not punching them down. Admittedly, again, I am not James Gunn's biggest fan. I'm not. I like Guardians 1. I like Guardians 3. Guardians 2 was a disappointment. Don't even get me started on the Suicide Squad. And hell, Peacemaker is what it is. That said, the guy is creative. The guy has his niche. The guy has his fans. And that's fine. I'm not knocking any of that shit. But between this nonsense from Mark Waid and any other person who just has to fucking sit there and be like, oh, James Gunn, thank you. Thank you so much. Slobber. We love you. Please. Oh, thank you for giving us the best Superman ever. When there's not even a frame of the fucking movie shown. I'm just mind blown. I'm just like, are you fucking serious? And what kind of shit is this? I mean, the movie has a dog in it with superpowered heat vision. So the movie's better because it's got fucking crypto in it? What? I just... What? The fuck? I have no words for this. Look, people are entitled to their opinions, and that's fine. What you're not entitled to, what people are not entitled to, is to entertain that of an ignorant opinion. And this, my friends, I believe, is kind of an ignorant opinion. Just because a Superman movie has a fucking flying dog in it that has heat vision, that's not going to make it any better than any past Superman movie. I know people who love Superman 78. I know people who like Superman Returns. I have a lot of friends, including myself, who love Man of Steel. This whole incessant, oh, Christopher Reeve is my Superman. Fuck Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder. That's not Superman. And then you've got it the other way around, who are people who are just like, yeah, Zack Snyder, Henry Cavill, that's our Superman. Fuck Christopher Reeve. Fuck James Gunn. Fuck David Corenswet. I'm like, guys, it ain't that serious. These are fictional characters. Let's fucking act like it. Let's treat them like they are. This is kind of ridiculous. It's fine to have a preference of one over the other. I mean, you don't get Man of Steel without Superman 78. And then also consequently, we don't get the James Gunn Superman movie without those two movies happening first. So you kind of have to give credit where credit is due. Mark Waid's entitled to his opinion, and that's totally fine. But the whole, like, it's not like Zack Snyder. Fuck off. Fuck all the way off with that shit. You had me pretty much with everything else you were saying until you had to throw that last little line of shade in there. That is not cool, Mark Waid. That's really not cool. But I digress. This is not the first time Mark Waid has spoken out against Zack Snyder and Man of Steel. I'm really not surprised. I want to say that Mark Waid and a few other select Superman writers were even invited to the set of Superman to witness the movie being made. So, you know, whatever they did not get from Man of Steel, I'm sure they're probably going to get from James Gunn's Superman movie. So, I don't know. July 11th is looming closer with every passing day. We'll see when a trailer comes out for that. Allegedly, there's a breakdown written rumor of what a trailer, a description of a trailer floating around the internet. I don't really have it here. I don't really want to talk about it because, well, frankly, it's probably bullshit. So, hey, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Is the marketing for the movie going to be, at least it's not Zack Snyder? I think the marketing for the movie is going to include something along the lines of from the beautifully disastrous mind of James Gunn, just like they did with the Suicide Squad. And we all saw how that worked out for him. Zack literally adapted his version of Lex Luthor, and this is how he reacts. I mean, Man of Steel is more or less half of Birthright in a movie form, but I digress. Mark Waid's still mad about a neck snap or something. I don't really know. He kind of looks like Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is way more of a pig than Mark Waid because Mark Waid hasn't done some egregious shit, as far as I know, as opposed to Joss Whedon, who definitely like is a total and complete pig of a human. So yeah, Mark Waid may be an asshole, but he hasn't gone down that route, which at the least is like, okay, at least you're not that. We should praise Zack Snyder DC movies. They are doing something different. That's the point of an adaptation, to be creative, to do something different, and it's an Elseworlds universe. Oh, wow. It's almost like you understand exactly how comic book films operate, unlike a lot of these fans who seem to think that all these adaptations are tried and true adaptations of the comics they take the names from. And that's absolutely not the case, because let me tell you something. Batman 89 is not year one. Batman Begins is probably closer to year one than 89 is, but even still, Batman Year One and Batman Begins still have their creative liberties. For example, Batman Begins utilizes the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul, whereas Batman Year One has absolutely no supervillains in it whatsoever. Point is, these are adaptations. Comic book films are by nature Elseworld stories. So the people behind the making of the movie are therefore, in a sense, like comic book creators, comic book writers, comic book artists. Therefore, they are entitled to do whatever the fuck they want with whatever project they are making. So let me just express this right now. When it comes to Lanterns, do not expect the Parallax storyline. Do not expect the Spectrum Wars. Do not expect any of that. Because if you put your expectations that high and it doesn't happen, that's on you if you get mad. That is entirely on you if you're disappointed by them not doing the thing you wanted them to do because they didn't do it the way you wanted them to fucking do it. If you want it done so fucking bad, fucking do it yourself. Let's see. We're definitely going to see from the director of Guardians of the Galaxy like 3 times in the trailer. Oh, more than likely. The MCU doesn't do that. That's why DC. That's why should DC. I mean, both of them do it. They both pick and pull from various different comic books and make movies and television out of them. I don't understand why that's still to this day just such a fucking point of contention among, hardcore fans. I just don't get it at all. Hey, Phil, I've been loving the new stuff we have seen this week from Agatha All Along to The Penguin and Twilight of the Gods. I watched all 3 shows and I like what I saw. Daryl, thank you so much for giving me a reason to pivot to our next topic of conversation. I greatly appreciate that because, first off, let's talk about Agatha All Along. Now, this show had a 2-episode premiere on Wednesday. The review embargo lifted that day, and a lot of people thought it was going to be garbage. Well, let's see. Let's see, because it's not all that garbage. I can tell you that right meow. Let's see here. Wow! That is the first time I've ever seen that. Holy shit. A double. Almost like a double it in and out. 79% critic score, 79% audience score. Holy shit. Wow. I think that is the first time for any comic book project I have ever seen both the critic and audience score be the exact same. That's pretty fucking cool, not gonna lie. But apparently, man babies on the internet are fucking mad at this show. Why? I don't know. Look, I've got friends who've watched, more of the episodes that I have, and they've bowed out. They're like, yeah, no, I don't need to see anymore. I've got other friends who are just like, yeah, no, I'm not watching this. I'm not interested. That's totally fine. But if you're gonna watch this show and you're gonna hate watch this show because you just want to bitch, you want to cry, you want to moan, you want to act like Disney's performing or being performative or having this like woke agenda or whatever the fuck, there's the door. Don't let it hit yourself on the way out. Don't let it spank your ass on the way out. Aubrey Plaza was recently asked, this is the gayest Marvel project you're aware of that, and she was like, I fucking hope so, because that's the reason I signed up for it. Cool. I don't know. Look, it's so funny to me that so many fans like sat there and praised WandaVision as like this holy grail of something fucking new and inventive within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? And guess what? WandaVision was written by, wait for it, Jack Schaefer. Y'all want to know who created Agatha All Along? Jack Schaefer. So what's the fucking difference now? Oh, is it because the general cast is nothing but women and a young gay male? Like, is that really like what the fucking problem is? Look, I watched the first 2 episodes. I enjoyed myself. I mean, the first episode, it was rocky. It was a little rocky. I mean, I kind of understand what they were going for, but at the same time, I was just like, well, this is a very interesting way to start off a TV show. But by the second episode, assembling the coven, seeing the other witches, and like, so the end of the first episode with that little brawl between Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn, I was like, oh, okay, this is a little more my speed. But the second episode was really where things started to kick off, and I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely, I see why they needed 2 episodes as opposed to if they would have just done that first episode, would not have landed well at all with the GA. I don't think. I don't think that would have landed well at all with the general audiences. So good on them for doing a 2-episode premiere. I know a couple other people who I know have seen the first 4 episodes. Some have said like, mixed things. It's fine. It's whatever. I've seen other people just be like, yeah, no, I'm bowed out. I don't need to watch anymore. And that's, hey, cool. But again, if you're going to hate watch this show, just like some of y'all might hate watch The Acolyte, fuck off. Just fuck all the way off. I'm totally fine with Catherine Hahn taking, main stage as the main character. I don't think she's like, the super good being by any stretch of the imagination. She's clearly got her own motives going on in this show. I think Joe Locke's, for sure, I think that Joe Locke is 100% Billy Maximoff. 100%. because when Agatha goes, "Who are you?" and he goes to say his name, you can clearly hear the Billy. You hear the beginning of Billy, and you hear the end of Maximoff. It is straight up fucking Wanda's kid, and Agatha calling the teen her pet. I was like, oh, okay, I see exactly what you're doing, because Wanda basically had you under a spell and basically treated you like, you know, a pet in a sense. So now that her son is coming to you and be like, I want to learn under you, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this situation. I see what's going on here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit that. I'll 100% admit that if I'm wrong. But I 100% also believe that teenager is Billy Maximoff. That is 100% Wiccan. That is Wanda's child, for sure. How he comes into play, I have no fucking clue. But I will say, towards the end of the second episode, where they do the whole summoning of the Witch's Road, and like the floor pops up out of the fucking basement, and they got the other evil witches coming after him, and the teen is like boarding up the house and shit. I was like, yeah, this is the sauce right here. This is fucking cool. Let's see. We all know Joe Locke is Billy, and I love how they keeping it as a mystery. Same with Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, a lot of theories are rolling around that she might be Blackheart. She might be the daughter of Mephisto. I don't know. Those are Marvel characters that are way out of my purview, so I have no fucking clue who they are to begin with. But hey, you know, reveals happen. I might be surprised. I might not be surprised. We'll fucking see, right? Acolyte sucks. Hey, Gore, how are you, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Trying to write off the Acolyte hate. That was a gold mine that made channels. I like both the Acolyte and the first episode of Agatha. That's good. See? Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm right there with you. I actually really like the Acolyte, if I'm being brutally honest. And I like Agatha. I think Agatha's off to a good start. I don't know about, you know, I'll put it to you this way. As far as I can see right now, Agatha All Along is not in the same conversation as something like Secret Invasion. That's for damn sure. Like I don't there's no way I could see it being as bad, because Jack Schaefer clearly had a very distinct vision in mind of like what she wanted to do with this series. She created a writer's room. She's the showrunner. She's the EP. She knows this character because she wrote her in WandaVision. So I don't see Agatha All Along turning into like a Secret Invasion situation where by the end everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are we even, how did we end up here from that? Like, I don't know. Like, I've got nothing bad to say about Agatha All Along. I thought it was really well. It was fun. Like, I know that's not the word everyone likes to hear, but it was fun. Like, Catherine Hahn's a great lead. Aubrey Plaza is a great supporting cast member, and I like the Coven of Witches that she assembled. Like, they're all unique and cool in their own way. So, yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about this show yet. That is yet to be determined. I don't know if I will have anything bad to say, but at the same time, I'm just like, hey, you know, you got some returning cast members from WandaVision in this. Dope. Let's see what happens. There's 7 more episodes, and I think the last 2 are supposed to premiere in the same day too. So it's a 2-episode premiere and then a 2-episode finale, and everything in between is just a 1 episode per week kind of thing. So we shall see. We shall see. Do you think Aubrey Plaza is Morgan Le Fay and the Salem 7 looks scary as hell? Yes, the Salem 7 looks scary as fucking hell. And there's a funny Acolyte reference there too, because that is Jodie Turner-Smith. It's like the head first person of the Salem 7. That was very interesting. Doctor Doom or Batman with prep time? Batman with prep time every single time. Do you think Tommy will show up in Vision Quest? I wondered if Tommy would show up in this, because that is Billy's brother. So I don't know. I have no idea, because, you know, in the comics, from what I recall, is it's Speed and Wiccan. And Wiccan is Billy Maximoff. Tommy Maximoff is Speed. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool. I wouldn't mind it, but I feel like if by the end of Agatha All Along they reveal that Joe Locke's character is in fact Billy Maximoff, at that point, if you cast another teenager in the Vision show, you're kind of obligated to be like, yeah, it's the brother. At that point, I wouldn't even try it. I wouldn't even try to do the whole, oh, is it or is it not kind of secret deal, because you've already done that once with this I feel like that would kind of run its course and lose its novelty if you were trying to do it a second time, but we'll see. Anyway, moving along to other premieres. Let's see. Yeah, let's just keep it in. So this, I think this also dropped the same day. Yeah, this was Wednesday. So there's a new trailer for Mickey 17. I have not, I did not react to this because I don't want to do any trailer reactions to anything Warner Brothers does, because I just do not want to. I just don't want to deal with the copyright. I don't want to deal with the headache that would entangle. I have no patience for their bullshit. So I just, I watched it. It looks interesting. It's Bong Joon-ho. I quite like Parasite. I think this is a very interesting premise. I'm really astounded by Robert Pattinson's vocal range here, because his voice sounds fucking way different than like Edward from Twilight, Batman, Good Time, like anything else I've seen him in. This voice he does in Mickey 17 is just completely different from anything he's ever done before. And it's got a great supporting cast too, like Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, a couple other people. Like it looks like a very interesting movie about cloning. And I guess it's labeled as like a black comedy, black science fiction comedy. I don't know. I'm excited. Batman's in it. I'll watch it. I'm going to see it. I would play it here, but again, I do not want to deal with the headache that is Warner Brothers Pictures in regards to their copyright. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well that movie does, especially for a January release. I'll probably watch it for my birthday if I get the chance. But yeah, this trailer kind of blew me on my ass. Not gonna lie. Like it looks fantastic. See, Braden's right here with me. Mickey 17 looks fantastic. Definitely gonna go see this movie in theaters. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm kind of picky and choosy when it comes to movie going these days. Like I have to really want to get out and go see the movie. So yeah, it'll be cool. I'm definitely there for Mickey 17. It'll be a very interesting movie. Only a couple more months before that one comes out. Let's keep up with the movie talk. This was just announced, I think, today. That's apparently Ridley Scott is already toying with a Gladiator 3. I mean, I saw it might have been a quote from him that, like, apparently this movie ends a lot like Godfather Part 2. Don't really know how to take that away, because like the first part was, pretty set in stone of how Maximus ends the movie. So I don't know. Would I be opposed to it? No. I just have to see part 2 before I can say whether or not a part 3 is guaranteed or worth it or not. That's kind of where I'm at with this. But it is nice that he's already like, yeah, maybe I might have left it open-ended enough to do a part 3. And I'm like, well, if the movie warrants a third part, you may as well do a third part, right? Like why the fuck not, right? Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? But hey, more power to him. I just want to get through part 2. Speaking of getting through part 2, Passion of the Christ 2 set to begin filming in 2025. Oh my God. No pun intended. No pun intended at all. But hot shit. Let's check this out. Mel Gibson is scouting locations in Europe for the Passion of the Christ sequel. Mel Gibson is in Europe scouting locations for a sequel to his 2004 biblical blockbuster, Passion of the Christ, which could mean that filming's long-gestated follow-up is actually going to get made. Earlier this week, Gibson reportedly toured Malta with a production team and subsequently arrived in southern Italian region of Puglia, where he visited various rural locations, including the ancient towns of Genosa, Gravina Laterza, I don't know, Altamira. Puglia Film Commission director Antonio Parente said, "All we can confirm is they were scouting locations recently." Gibson's publicist, Alan Nyrob, told Variety in an email, adding that there is not a lot to discuss at this early stage. Nyrob also specified that any casting details of Passion of the Christ sequel titled Passion of the Christ Resurrection are premature. Gibson reportedly been working for years on the sequel script with Braveheart screenwriter Randall Wallace, who in a video interview with Ormy Media in April said the screenplay was completed and that Jim Caviezel was going to come back to star as Jesus. Gibson, in 2022 interview with the National Catholic Register, said Resurrection is not a linear narrative, adding, "You have to juxtapose the central event that I'm trying to tell with everything else around it in the future, in the past, and other realms." And that's kind of getting a little sci-fi out there. Passion of the Christ, Gibson takes on Jesus' final days on Earth, became the largest grossing independent film of all time, grossing nearly $612 million worldwide on a $30 million budget, nonetheless, too. The film was considered anti-Semitic due to its implication that Jewish leaders were to blame for Jesus' death, but controversy fueled interest as churches bought out entire theaters for their congregants. Mel Gibson's latest film as a director, suspense thriller Flight Risk, top-lining Mark Wahlberg, were released stateside by Lionsgate on January 24th. I had heard that he'd been making Passion of the Christ 2 for years. I was very unaware that it would actually ever get made. But if it's going to follow like a non-linear narrative and it's going to take, past, present, future, are you going to insert some like modern day bullshit in there too? Like, are you going to have him like witness events from 2024? Like, I'm intrigued by that notion. I don't really know, because like it's been a hot minute since I watched Passion of the Christ. I think the last time I watched it was like right around the time it released, but if not after, because it was me and my dad, my stepmom, a couple other people. Like we were watching it in our house one day just because. But like, yeah, the fact that a sequel is happening, I'm just like, okay, well, Mel Gibson has also said some very heinous, awful things that he still gets rightfully lambasted for. That said, I would just be very curious to see how exactly he does a follow-up to Passion of the Christ. How does that work? Time will tell. But hey, if he's gearing up locations, that very well could mean, the script is probably done. So yeah, neat. Passion of the Christ 2, Resurrection. Or is it just Passion of the Christ, Resurrection? I don't know. Clearly, Jesus is coming back. Pun intended. I know. I'm super funny.
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
Speaking of Part 2, Matt Reeves finally confirms that the script for Batman Part 2 is complete. This was confirmed in an Entertainment Weekly interview that I have pulled up here, so let's go ahead and break this shit down, shall we? All right, share screen. There we go. Boom. All right. Building Batman's crime saga. Matt Reeves on Scrap spinoffs, The Penguin, and What Comes Next. The director shares his plans for expanding the world of the Robert Pattinson-led Bat flick, and it doesn't end with the Penguin. Batman has been Matt Reeves' hero since he was 3 years old. The filmmaker behind Cloverfield, 2 Planet of the Apes films, and more importantly for this story, 2022, Robert Pattinson's led The Batman, has vivid memories of being ill in his childhood home in Long Island. Bedridden with a high fever, he imagined scenes from 1966 Batman TV series starring Adam West playing out all over his room as if they were projections on the walls. Quote, "Even though I was sick, I felt safe because Batman was on the ceiling." Reeves, now 58, God, he looks great for 58. It seems DC's Cape Crusader continues to watch over Reeves, who, after moving with his family to Los Angeles years later, pursued a career in movies. Reeves followed his childhood passion of making amateur films on 8mm camera all the way to University of Southern California in the 1980s. He reasoned George Lucas, the father of Star Wars, went to USC, so he needed to go to USC. He enrolled in a screenwriting course run by Jeff Loeb, a scribe behind 1985's Teen Wolf, who would go on to pen beloved Batman comics such as Long Halloween, Hush, Dark Victory, and Haunted Night. Reeves never considered himself a writer. Writing was merely the first step to make a movie. Loeb changed that. Quote, "He put us through this series of exercises," Reeves says of Loeb. "We just started working on screenplays. He came up to me and said, 'You can write, and I want you to really take that seriously.'" Decades later, those words still stick with Reeves as he actively works to expand the stylized world he launched with The Batman into a number of projects, including drama series The Penguin, which premiered on Max this week before an air date on HBO this Sunday. It feels strange. It feels stranger than fiction that the man who christened Reeves' writing is the same person whose comics are now influencing the look of his own take on Gotham City. I could see that they had such cinematic sensibility of Loeb's comic book titles. I could say you're doing a Godfather-esque thing, but with Batman in the world. I get it. The Batman, about the early days of Pattinson's Bruce Wayne stalking the alleys of Gotham while grappling with the Riddler, gave the titular hero a street-level grit in the vein of Taxi Driver and The French Connection. The Penguin, which brings back Colin Farrell's Oz Cobb from that first movie, is similarly a Scarface story about a low-level gangster who takes advantage of a power vacuum in the criminal underworld after the Riddler offs his boss, mobster Carmine Falcone, played by John Turturro. And this is but the tip of the iceberg, not to be confused with Oz's Club, the Iceberg Lounge. The event of the 8-episode Penguin, which takes place 1 week after The Batman, will directly lead into the still under wraps plot of The Batman Part 2, currently scheduled to hit theaters on October 2nd, 2026. Farrell's Oz is already set to return for that sequel as well, and Reeves and his producing partner Dylan Clark are considering even more tie-in television series. I always wanted to make sure that each of the movies that we did with Rob, that the central arc, the emotional arc of the story would be Batman and Bruce's. Then, when I was talking to Warner Brothers about signing for TV, I said what will be exciting to me is to take characters where there's not enough real estate in a movie to cover their stories in full and really dig into them. I want it all to be the sweeping Batman crime epic. That's where Reeves got the name for the master plan, the Batman Epic Crime Saga, a series of interconnected movies and shows that depict different corners of the Dark Knight's playground. Some DC fans online are already playing with more snackable acronym for that. Is it to be BECS, Batman's Epic Crime Saga, or is it TBECS, the Batman Epic Crime Saga? The problem is that I always like the full title. It's funny, we were doing a thing with marketing. They were going like, so the next chapter in the Batman Saga, I'm like, oh, sad. Reeves' plans for the Batman Epic Crime Saga changed considerably over the years, as did the company he developed it for. In July of 2020, at a time when the chief streaming platform on Warner Brothers and HBO's parent company, Warner Max, was HBO Max, his first DC drama series came to light. A story set in the Gotham City Police Department with Boardwalk Empire creator Terrence Winter working alongside him and Clark to develop it. There were also reports in the Hollywood trades about plans to make another Bat-adjacent series set in the infamous Arkham Asylum. Over the years, as Discovery purchased Warner Media to create a now merged Warner Brothers Discovery and HBO Max rebranded as Match with a whole new pipeline in place to expand franchises across movie and TV, many other DC projects like the Wonder Twins and Batgirl movies were completely scrapped. Reeves' work, however, survived the culling, even as James Gunn and Peter Safran, the two new heads of DC Studios, carve out plans for a completely separate, connected entertainment universe. Batman looking out once again, perhaps. The Penguin, now spearheaded by showrunner and lead writer Lauren LaFranc, itself is a perfect illustration of how the Batman Epic Crime Saga achieves the state that it's in the process of figuring out what something is as it evolves, Reeves explains. When I was describing what it was we wanted to do, I think HBO CEO Casey Bloys didn't want us to be too protective of the marquee characters as if we were only going to do those in the movies. I got it right at that moment. So he pitched a tweaked concept about one of those marquee characters, Farrell's Oz Cobb, a relatively small figure of the Batman who played a crucial role as a red herring of the mystery. Batman ended in a place where the Riddler murders Carmine Falcone, the biggest mob boss in town, and floods entire boroughs of Gotham by blowing up the seawall. It was described to Bloys how I wanted to do the story for Oz at the beginning of the next movie. Reeve mentions of the Batman Part 2, I deliberately ended the Batman in a place where Zoe Kravitz's Selina is saying it's going to be bloody. There's a moment of greatest hope, but it's also the most dangerous moment that's been in Gotham for a long time. So Batman's going to be right at the center of that. When I was describing the beginning of the story of this underestimated criminal who we all know becomes the Kingpin, Casey was like, oh, that's the show. We want to do that show. While the GCPD series did not move forward, parts of the treatment were reworked for the Penguin. Similarly, the Arkham show, as it was originally conceived, isn't going ahead, but Reeve clarifies the things that we're talking about now are evolved versions of those things. It's not like that just didn't work. It's like we need to evolve this. I would describe it as less as something that didn't work out, as more something that is still along the path towards arriving at its destination. He's not ready to reveal what those next plans are, and in truth, some of it is predicted on how audiences respond to the Penguin. Yet he feels confident that Bloys, as well as another bigwig, Sarah Aubrey, head of Max Original Programming, maintain excitement for what else they can do together. And yes, he does have general guidelines for what all that will be. One, Pattinson's Batman will stick to the movies, at least for now. That's why Reeves and his team decided not to include him at all in the first series. The show is Oz's story, not to be overshadowed by the Bat.
That's not to say there would never be an appearance by Batman or Bruce or something like that on a future series. Lauren and I did speak. Do we want to find a way to get Rob somehow to be in the show? That was an afterthought. Speaking to more broad themes, he muses on how Gotham is perennially corrupt. It's the idea that it draws people in the way that it does with Oz Cobb. It's the idea of trying to grab for the American dream, the dark side of the American dream, he says. Each title set in this Gotham world will offer a different shade to the dark American dream, but Reeves doesn't want it to feel like homework. You don't have to watch the Batman to understand the Penguin, and you don't have to watch the Penguin to understand the events of Batman Part 2. It's more that it's taking place within this same world, if he continues. If you do watch the whole thing, it is an epic narrative and a meditation on the corruption and why Gotham is the way it is. When I talk about the other shows that we're talking about doing, what's exciting is to think about going down another alley that we weren't able to go down to in the Penguin or the Batman. Reeves is now gearing up for the next movie sequel. The script is finished, he confirms, and everyone is preparing to start production next year. He does tease that there is a period of time Part 2 will jump to after the first film and TV series. Oz does become one of the entry points in the movie. I can't tell you where it goes from there, except to say that we're super excited about it. The Batman of his childhood imaginations would be proud. Well, wow. Loved all of that. So big news is Part 2 script is done, complete. However, I would also posit that Matt Reeves continued to tweak the script for the very first film all the way up till shooting and even during the COVID shutdown. So to me, while the majority of what is going to happen in that movie is probably set in stone, production is working diligently on getting the set pieces, getting the aesthetic, getting, probably getting ready to, nail down shooting locations. There could just be some dialogue tweaks here and there. I'd have to guess maybe, or maybe they may even happen on the set. Can't really say for sure. Bottom line is though, script is done. So you know what that means? They're going to start sending the script out. And that also means we're going to start hearing casting soon too. I think sooner than later, we're going to find out who exactly is the villain of Batman Part 2. A lot of people have theorized Mr. Freeze, Court of Owls, Clayface has been rumored, so is Hush. I can't really say for sure, but honestly, I don't care. And I mean that in a loving way because I am here for Matt Reeves, the Batman. All of it. It was all great. What's the chat got to say? You think Batman Part 2 will start on Christmas Eve and end on New Year's Day? Start on Christmas Day and end on New Year's Day? Well, apparently Batman Part 2 could very well do that because the Penguin picks up a week after where the Batman ended. So the Batman ends on Election Day in universe on November 7th. That is the last day in which the film takes place because the film starts on Halloween and then ends a week later on Election Day. This series, The Penguin, picks up 1 week after that. So that would, to me, indicate that it takes place November 14th. And it's supposed to go into the end of the year. Not quite to Christmas, but somewhere about close to it. In the first episode, spoilers, like Oz Cobb finds out that there's a shipment coming on the 18th of November. So that should be pertinent to the story going forward. I think the Batman will start on Christmas Day and end on New Year's Day. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't doubt it, maybe. Okay, that's the third time. Anyway, 50,000 droids or Batman with 2 hours of prep time. Draven, I really don't give a shit. Matt Reeves is cooking. That's right. Matt Reeves is fucking cooking the good shit. Yeah, he is. He's cooking me something fucking fabulous. What's up, Johnny? Do you think he has the Batman Part 3 script done? I think a general outline of what a third film might look like is at the very least written. Whether or not it's like in a paragraph or, outline circular form, couldn't tell you. But I think he has... I mean, it mentions it here. He has an outline of where that shit goes. So, damn, bro, why you gotta be like that? What the fuck do you think I'm gonna say every fucking time, bro? Batman. There's your fucking answer. Now, quit asking me who or who. Anyway, speaking of who or who, Penguin episode premiere in the Oz Cobb controversy. As I said, Penguin debuted last night
6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. This was hands down one of the best first episodes I have ever seen of any television series whatsoever. This first episode sets the stage for what the rest of the show is going to be, and they couldn't have pulled it off in a more glorious fashion. I loved episode 1 of The Penguin. I was fist pumping, I was smiling, I was laughing, all the shit that they put Oz through in this first episode. I was like, this is the fucking sauce. This shit is fucking awesome. Seriously, this shit is. This is fucking awesome. Fuck yeah, this shit is fucking awesome. Oh my god. I could not fucking believe myself at the amazing things that I was watching happen. Like, Colin Farrell is for sure going to get a fucking Emmy for this performance in this show. There's no doubt in my mind about that. That dude is getting a fucking Emmy for this shit. Because when it came time for him to tell Vic, like, you step out of line even once, I will gut you like a fucking fish. Chef's kiss. Absolute chef's kiss. That was the fucking sauce right there. That was fucking amazing acting. Just fucking awesome. Colin Farrell is to the Penguin what Heath Ledger is to the Joker. I'm quoting my good buddy Chris Evans there. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about this too. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say about this episode. But yeah, holy shit, next Sunday cannot get here fast enough because fuck me, this show is amazing. Oh my god. Batman Epic Crime Saga. I am here for it. The next 7 weeks of Penguin glory. Oh, these are about to be the next best 7 weeks of my fucking life. Holy shit. I can't wait to continue to watch this show every week. This is weekly content we yearn for. This is so fucking good. Like, holy shit. And Kristen Milioti as Sophia Falcone. She is fucking horrifying. Oh my god. Like, that woman is spooky in that show. Holy shit. She makes my skin crawl with the shit that she says and does. Holy fuck. Like, people say she stole the show. Maybe. I'm not ready to say it, but damn, she did a fucking fine job of playing Sophia. Holy shit. Another standout performance for me was Clancy Brown as Boss Man Maroni, Salvatore Maroni. Oh my god. And the way the episode ends, fucking here for it. I cannot wait to see how this shit pans out. And the whole Oz Cobb thing, like, people are, I guess, are mad. His name's Oz Cobb. Fucking boo-hoo, you bunch of whiny bitches. Wah! They changed the name of a fucking character. Wah! Boo fucking who, motherfucker. Wah! Cry. Cry harder. It's not my Oswald Cobblepot. Boo fucking who? Fucking boo-hoo. Wah! Cry me a motherfucking river. Holy shit. Like, it never ceases to amaze me how many man children just get so fucking up in their feels about shit. Fictional shit that just, at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. But, hey, you know, is what it is. Can't wait to see what he does with the Arkham show. Yeah, if it was actually happening. Can't wait. How ironic they're getting Matt Reeves' Batman universe first before James Gunn's DCU Batman. And you know the toxic DC man babies are mad. They can fucking stay mad. They've been mad. They done been mad since fucking 2013. Matter of fact, no, I take that back. They've been mad since 2012 after fucking Batman appeared fighting a bunch of people in the snow. They've been fucking mad for like the last decade. Always mad about something when it comes to Batman. Facts, it was phenomenal. You're goddamn right, it was phenomenal, Johnny. Need some fucking ZD. Love the first episode. Did not expect Alvaro. Oh, spoilers. Did not expect Alberto Falcone death when Alberto Falcone talking trash to Oz. I was like, oh, he's gonna shoot him and give zero fucks about the name change. Yeah. When I saw that opening bit of the episode and Alberto and Oz were having that conversation, I was like, why does this look so familiar? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, he's gonna, and then he did it. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. It's perfect. And the way it wraps up at the end of the episode, chef's kiss. Oz Cobb is playing the field as smartly as he can. I would posit that Colin Farrell is to the Penguin what Heath Ledger is to the Joker. This is a performance for the fucking books, folks. That's kind of where I'm at with this shit. All right, moving right along. We don't have too much more to talk about here, but let's just move right along. And keeping in the streaming conversation, we got Netflix Geeked Week. Oh, man, the amount of shit that has come out from Netflix Geeked Week. First of all, Twilight of the Gods debuted yesterday. I watched all 8 episodes today and yesterday. Yesterday, I caught the first episode before diving into the Penguin, and then I caught the other 7 this morning. Currently writing my review right now for Multiverse of Color for it. Might get back to writing it after I wrap this show up. But yeah, Geeked Week is upon us. There's been a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of snippets, a lot of teasers, a lot of trailers. I saw a trailer for Devil May Cry, which looks incredible. I saw, again, I did a reaction to the Squid Game Season 2 sneak peek. That was incredible. I also saw, I saw pictures, but I saw, that there is a behind-the-scenes bit of One Piece Season 2. I guess they got the hat for Chopper, so that's cool. But, yeah, speaking of Twilight of the Gods here real quick, this show was awesome. This was really, really well done, really well made. It does not suffer from a lot of common problems I think a lot of modern animation does. Like, the animation doesn't feel stiff, doesn't feel blocky, it doesn't feel, forced, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel rushed. It feels like they took their time. I think a lot of the voice performances are really solid, really well done. Like, John Noble's Odin is fucking horrifying, terrifying in a good way. But yeah, it was fucking wild. And even to see Thor posited as the bad guy in this show, I was like, fuck, he ain't fucking around. The whole aesthetic and look of it too is just very reminiscent, at least to me, of something you'd see in a Gennady Tartakovsky animated project, Samurai Jack, Primal, something to that effect. Reminds me of that a lot. And of course, this is from the brain of Zack Snyder and Jay Oliva. What more can I say? This show is fucking awesome. It was really well done and really well made. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed the hell out of it. Highly recommend. And it was just an excellent experience. I really hope they do get a season 2. Let's see. I'm about to hit play on Penguin, my boy. Good. Enjoy it. Watch the first 2 episodes of Twilight of the Gods. Thor was an ass. Dude, Thor is a fucking asshole in this series. And I mean that with love because, man, it is so cool to see Thor as the antagonist of a story. And the way it ends is just, oh my God. No pun intended. But holy shit, this was a good show. This was really good. This was a really, really good show. Really well done. Really well made. Really good animation. Really great voice cast. The setting, the story, the Norse mythology, all of it was just really cool. The music is really swelling. It just has a really cool vibe and presence to it. And I really hope a lot of other people watch it. It can stand on its own. You could maybe make the debate, it could end as a limited series, but I really hope it does get more, because the way it does end, it does kind of give you the idea of there could be something that happens after this. And I'm kind of hoping it does, because I really like the way that the story flowed. If you're familiar with Zack Snyder's body of work, then you already know that there's a lot of brutal action, a lot of explicit wordage, and some very coital imagery. I'll say that much. But yeah, this is not your brother's Thor, not your dad's Thor. This is very adult animation. It's almost like Heavy Metal meets Samurai Jack. Yeah, it's the best way I could probably posit it.
Netflix is always good with animation. Cyberpunk, Arcane, now this. Okay, I still have yet to watch Cyberpunk or Arcane, but I've heard good things about both. But yeah, my overall thoughts on Twilight of the Gods. That's where I'm at with that. Definitely. I love Twilight of the Gods. After watching Twilight of the Gods, now I'm interested in reading Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book again. Ooh, Neil Gaiman. There's a hot button name right now in the news circuits based off of certain allegations and whatnot. I feel like that is it. But there is one other thing that someone sent me that I can't help but laugh at. And, I found this quite funny. A couple people actually sent me this. So I was just very, very surprised to see this. And it just really just, this made me laugh. Anyone who knows me. Okay, so first, this was my initial reaction to seeing this image that was shared with me by a few friends. A couple friends had sent me this image of a tweet. And again, I'm not on Twitter, but they thought of me and sent this to me. And I was at work when I saw this. And I couldn't help but laugh after seeing this. I am single and would like to no longer be single. So if you're in LA and you like movies and you're family oriented and you're good in bed, message me or tell a friend. Nudes available upon request. This is from Jeff Snyder. Anyone who knows me knows I cannot stand this guy. And I think he's an absolute dipshit of the highest level. But I just found this all sorts of hilarious because, oh my God, not only is this just peak desperate, this is fucking sad. This is gross. It's just like, dude, go on a fucking dating app, okay? Like, what are you doing spewing this shit on X? And on top of that, could you make yourself look like any more of a fucking idiot jackass? Like, you have the same profile picture you've had for like, 15 fucking years, and then you show a picture of yourself there, balding, disheveled, graying, like, and you're asking to go on like dates. You're asking for single women, I'm assuming. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This just reeks of fucking desperate in all the fucking grossest ways possible. Like, holy shit. Like, what? I'm not gonna lie. I fucking laughed at this. This fool had me blocked before I left Twitter. Because this fool is a classless thief of the highest level. This fool will take other people's scoops and act like he had the fucking skinny on it first. It's not the case. This fool's a fucking chump. But I gotta admit, I saw this shit and I was like, wow, you are fucking pathetic. You couldn't even go on a fucking dating app like a normal human being. Instead, you're trying to use what little relevant internet clout you have to be like, hey, I'm single. Like anyone gives a fuck, dude. Either way, I just found this wholeheartedly hilarious in the most pathetic manner possible. This was just gross but funny all at the same time. Just so fucking like, whew, wow. I was just what the fuck. But yeah, in case anyone is concerned, as far as us in the chat and me in general,
we don't do that here.
You will never catch me doing that on social media. No, I am actually happily in a relationship, so there is that. But that was fucking pathetic. As soon as my couple friends sent me that, I had nothing but good laughs. Laughs were had by all, and I just could not help myself. Man, that was fucking funny and pathetic in all the right ways. But hot shit, that is just, ooh, gross. I feel so bad for all the ladies we all know he's about to hit up and slide into DMs for. That is going to be fucking gross. So in the coming days, if I see more screenshots of him being a creep, I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off. But that said, I think I kind of touched on everything I wanted to for this week. Let me check my notes here really quick. Yeah, no, there's a couple other ancillary things, but I really don't think they're going to, charter too much of a conversation, just, small scale stuff. But yeah, tell me in the comments how you feel. What are you looking forward to most? You looking forward to Penguin? You looking forward to Agatha? You looking forward to more Twilight of the Gods? If so, maybe something from Netflix Geek Week. Looking forward to anything on Batman Day? Like, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell me in the comments. Let me know how you feel. But this has been another episode of Friday Phil. As I just mentioned, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. But without further ado, I'm going to bid you all the farethest of wells on this beautiful Friday. Thank you again for tuning in for Friday Phil. Much appreciated for Braden, Mike, Draven, Daryl, Johnny. Thank you again. Little Movie Perp, you stopped in as well. Droga. Thank you everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Love getting all the love from all you guys every week. Love doing this show. Love having a great time chit-chatting up with my friends. Love just talking shit about movies and all the other entertainment nonsense we all talk about every fucking day. So that said, everybody, take care. Have a great weekend. Good night.